Senator from Louisiana.
I ask the quorum call be vitiated.
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam President. Last week, a terrible tragedy occurred in Lafayette, Louisiana. When a mentally ill gunman opened fire in a movie theater filled with innocent people. Jillian Johnson was a talented artist. Successful entrepreneur, an active member of the Lafayette community. Jillian played in a local all-female band, co-owned a gift and toy shop, and often organized community projects that benefited all. She was a kind and charitable soul, described by her husband as a loving friend, daughter, sister, and wife. Macy Breaux was an incredible young lady with a bright future. A student at Louisiana State University, Eunice, Macy was studying to be a medical radiology technician and was engaged to her high school sweetheart, planning to marry after she graduated. Macy worked in a local fashion boutique where her customers and coworkers remember her generous smile and wonderful optimism. These two women exemplified the kindness and essence of the Lafayette community, and although they were taken from us far too quickly, their memories live. Let's also take a moment to thank the heroes in this tragedy. The Lafayette Police, Acadian Ambulance, the employees of the Grand 16 Movie Theater, and other first responders who acted bravely and quickly to stop the shooter and aid the injured. We're grateful for their service and honor them today. I also acknowledge by name Gina Moe and Allie Martin. Their quick thinking and courageousness saved lives. When they crawled across the movie theater floor to pull a fire alarm to alert authorities. Lafayette and Louisiana are resilient. In times of tragedy and pain, we come together to support and care for one another. The love we have for each other, even in the darkest of times, will help Lafayette and our state and community recover. The events that transpired in Lafayette last week are a reminder of the long road we must take to reform our mental health system. Too many innocent lives are being taken in senseless attacks in movie theaters, schools, churches, and other places where we should feel safe. The common denominator in these tragedies is all too often untreated mental illness. As public servants, we should seek to keep the public safe. But our mental health system is badly broken and fails to do so, and reforms are coming too slowly. It doesn't make sense that parents caring for a mentally ill child cannot be part of the medical decision-making that could prevent horrendous tragedies. I can go down the list of reforms that need to be made to improve our mental health system. I'm working with my good friend, Senator Chris Murphy, on legislation that will help reform our mental health system and make it easier for those in need to have the help that could potentially avert a tragedy like this. I finish once more by saying that our thoughts and prayers are with the families and loved ones of Jillian and Macy, and all those wounded who are suffering. May they know God's comfort at a time when it may be otherwise impossible for them to feel comforted. I yield to my fellow senator and good friend, Senator Vitter.
Madam President.
Senator from Louisiana.
Madam President, I come to the Senate floor, sadly, in light of this tragedy, to join my colleague, Senator Cassidy, in expressing these heartfelt thoughts. And we rise today again to express our deepest sympathy for the victims of this horrible, horrible shooting in Lafayette, for their families. Our thoughts and prayers, all of Lafayette and all of Louisiana's hearts, go out to all of the families involved in this tragic, tragic incident. We lost, as Senator Cassidy suggested, two enormously talented and unique and irreplaceable individuals, and we certainly pay tribute to them. As Senator Cassidy suggested, Macy was a student at Louisiana State University, Eunice, full of life, full of hope, full of promise. She was studying to become an ultrasound and radiology technician. In fact, she was scheduled to begin her training at Lafayette General Hospital just a few days after her tragic death. And she was at the movies with her boyfriend Matthew Rodriguez, who is among the 9 wounded. Jillian was the owner of Parish Inc., a t-shirt printing company specializing in old Acadiana verités. She and her husband also owned the Red Arrow Workshop, a gift and toy shop in Lafayette. And again, full of life, full of talent, full of vigor and happiness. She played the ukulele and guitar for the Figs, an all-female sextet from Lafayette. 2 individuals completely irreplaceable, and they'll be so sorely missed. And I also join Senator Cassidy in recognizing and thanking the heroic actions of those 2 teachers from Jeanerette High School in Iberia Parish, Gina Moe and Allie Martin. According to several reports, Allie jumped in front of Gina to shield her from the shooting, very likely saving her life. Caused the bullet to hit Gina's leg instead of Allie's head. And Allie was shot in the leg in the process. Despite their injuries, Gina courageously pulled the fire alarm, alerting the whole movie theater and certainly saving lives. So we pay tribute and remember them as well. And we also pause and remember and continue praying for the recovery of 9 other individuals who were wounded in this horrible incident. Matthew Rodriguez, I mentioned, the boyfriend of Macy Bro, Morgan, Julia Eggendahl, Dwight Bo Ramsey and his wife Jerry. These are cousins of Congressman Bustani, by the way, good friends of both Senator Cassidy and myself. Ali Viator Martin, an English teacher at Jeanerette Senior High School, and Gina Legnon Moe, who I've mentioned as true heroes in this incident. You know, on Saturday evening, Lafayette residents gathered downtown to honor particularly the 2 victims who lost their lives. During the vigil, one Lafayette resident stated, and she certainly stated it well, "We can't let evil win. We as a community have to rise above that and move forward," quote unquote. Well, we do, but as we do, Senator Cassidy and I rise today to honor the victims, to remember them, particularly Macy and Jillian, and to certainly recommit ourselves to the important work at hand, including regarding mental illness that Senator Cassidy suggested. We have prepared a Senate resolution commemorating the victims of this horrible event. And so at this point, Madam President, I would ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the consideration of that resolution, Senate Resolution 231, submitted earlier today.
And the clerk will report.
Senate Resolution 231, honoring the memory and legacy of the 2 Louisiana citizens who lost their lives, recognizing the heroism of first responders and those on the scene, and condemning the attack of July 23, 2015 in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Is there objection to the preceding measure? Without objection, the Senate will proceed with the measure.
Thank you, Madam President. Now I ask unanimous consent that the resolution be agreed to, the preamble be agreed to, the motion to reconsider be laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam President. Again, Madam President, we all hold up these families and particularly the 2 victims and their families in our prayers, in our continuing thoughts, in our love. It's a horrible, horrible incident. But I know the community of Lafayette well, I know the state well, and it certainly will not stop with pure tragedy. Certainly folks will hold up these families in love and support and prayer and work toward a far better resolution of issues involved as the one Senator Cassidy mentioned. Thank you, Madam President. I yield the floor.